big cat. Welcome to my therapy. This ain't your ordinary world, it's extraordinary. See, I'm a high priestess light walker here to guide your way through the waves of life. We'll find a new path to embrace. Tarot, astrology, numerology in our hands. No weapon formed against you shall ever stand. We're winners, we never quit, we always keep on going. Quitters never win, but we're always growing. Hey there, big cat, let's chase the highest vibration. Together we'll create a new world, a brand new nation.
Namaste! Grand Rising, Big Cat Earth Signs. Welcome, or welcome back to Big Cat Astrology. Big Cat Wave, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. The planetary hot topics to add to your almanac over the next 7 days. On the 23rd of September, the moon in Gemini is conjunct to Jupiter in Gemini. There's a buoyant, curious energy encouraging open-mindedness and exploration of new ideas. Communication flows easily, making it a great time to share thoughts or learn new things. You might find yourself engaging in conversations, starting a new class, or diving into social activities that expands your horizons. The fixed star, Aldebaran, leads strength and integrity to your thoughts, allowing you to articulate your ideas with confidence and wisdom. On the 24th, Mercury in Virgo trines Uranus in Taurus. Mercury is in its domicile in Virgo, giving it enhanced focus and efficiency. This trine to Uranus sparks creative thinking and unconventional solutions, helping you to think outside the box. You may be inspired to make practical but innovative changes in your day-to-day life or work routines. This could lead to sudden breakthroughs at work, a fresh perspective on a personal issue, or adopting a new technology that simplifies your life. The fixed star Capella in Taurus offers guidance and quick mental reflexes, helping you to navigate unexpected developments with clarity and ease. On the 25th, Mercury in Virgo trines Pluto in Capricorn. You may feel drawn to dig deeper into complex problems or seek hidden truths, leading to significant insight. Your communication might take on a more serious tone as you focus on transformative conversations or projects. This could manifest as successfully tackling a major work project, resolving a deep-seated issue, or having a powerful conversation that changes your perspective. The fixed star Vega in Capricorn adds focus and determination, helping you harness Pluto's transformative power for meaningful growth and success. On the 26th, Mercury enters Libra, lasting until the 22nd of October. Conversations tend to become more harmonious and focused on finding common ground, making it easier to mediate conflicts. You may be drawn to weighing different sides of an issue before making a firm decision, seeking fairness in your interactions. You could be involved in negotiations, collaborative projects, or simply trying to smooth over some form of misunderstanding in your relationships. The fixed star Sept offers support in this period, enhancing your ability to speak with charm, tact, and good judgment, leading to successful outcomes. On the 27th, the moon in Libra squares Venus in Scorpio. Emotional intensity meets the need for attention, which could lead to tension in personal relationships or social settings. You might feel pulled between the desire to express your feelings openly and the deeper, more hidden aspects of your emotions. Situations may involve conflicts in romantic relationships, feeling emotionally neglected, or struggling to balance affections with independence. The fixed star Regulus in Leo brings a desire for respect and recognition, but warns against letting ego drive you towards making emotional decisions and leading to emotional conflict. On the 28th, the moon in Leo sextiles Jupiter in Gemini, a joyful, expansive energy which brings optimism and encourages socialization and creative expression. You may feel more outgoing and eager to take on new activities that allow you to connect with others or showcase your talents. This could be a day for social gatherings, sharing ideas, or taking on a more creative project that feels fun and rewarding. The fixed star Pollux in Gemini enhances communication and intellectual engagement, making it an ideal time to exchange ideas and embrace new perspectives. On the 29th, Mars in Cancer trines Saturn in Pisces. Mars's assertive blends harmoniously with Saturn's discipline, providing the determination and patience to accomplish difficult tasks. You may feel motivated to work on long-term goals or to take a methodical approach to challenges. This could mean finding the persistence to complete a major project, tackle household responsibilities, or maintain focus on a challenging task. The fixed star Alcana in Pisces adds a spiritual depth and resilience, helping you navigate responsibilities with a sense of calm and purpose. Please stay tuned in for the tarot reading to follow. Big Cat Wave. Namaste! Grand Rising, Big Cat Earth Signs. Welcome or welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555. Your messages for your next 7 days. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, Big Cat Wave. Let's dive right in and unpack. Oh, you have a 9, darling dears. And also within the 9, you have the 5 on a 1. The energy of the 1 is about your career, darling dears. It also speaks about you being on a path of your life mission. Okay. It also speaks into your individualism, darling dears. So your power colors for this will be the colors of dark blue, as well as black. We've also got the energy of the 6, darling dears. The 6 speaks about helpful people being put in your path over the next 7 days, darling dears. It speaks about your life mission. So it's your spiritual life, your spiritual ascension, awakening, all of the above, darling dears. Utilizing your discernment and your intuition. Any form of travel plans will be going fabulous, gorgeous and lovely. The power color for that is grey and mauve. So the element of the 1 covers the winter months, darling dears, and the element of the 6 is the fall. So it's from autumn until winter. Something is going down, Bobby Brown. It's going to involve traveling. It's going to involve some form of spiritual ascension, darling dears. So it's overcoming some kind of karmic lesson. Okay, you have the energy of a 9, darling dears. When we get to the 9, darling dears, it means we've had as much as we can stand. We get into our Popeye energy, darling dears. Okay. All right. So the energy of the 9, darling dears, according to the low shoe grid. Lean in, bestie. Lean in. All right. It speaks about fame, darling dears, as well as your reputation. So we're talking about 10th house stuff, as well as the 11th house, your social life, your circles, going around new groups. It also speaks about the letting go of a group. Some kind of karmic lesson has been overcome in the past. 7 days. I love it. I don't hate it. Posh clap. Okay. So some kind of fame. It also speaks about your status, darling dears, because the energy of the 10th house is the middle heavens. It's the medium coli. That's Latin for the middle heavens. So something that you're doing in the public, darling dears, it's going to create some kind of reputation. The 11th house says that people are noticing your skills, darling dears, your gifts. Okay. The 11th house is money being paid to you. Okay. The 10th house is what you're striving for. It also speaks about some form of financial success, but it also speaks about community power. So something you're doing out there, darling dears, it's about to be noticed by many. Okay. The 10th house is somebody working for as a government official. That could be anything from in the National Health Service down to, I don't know, a porter, whatever, darling dears. A government official. You could be a politician. It also speaks about you are going to become the influential family member. That is also a message for some. Okay. All right. So the energy of the 9 itself, darling dears. You could be a life path 9. Okay. Or the numbers 9, 18 and 27 will be hanging around you for the next 7 days. The number 9 is associated with the letters I and R, as well as the planet Mars. Mars rules Aries. Okay. Be careful of any form of accidents over the next 7 days, because Mars speaks about war. It also speaks about sharp objects. Be very careful, especially around the pow-pows. All right. You know what I mean. I'm talking in code. Keep up, bestie. Keep up. We've got to move forward. Okay. It tells me that you are a natural healer and a humanitarian. You're extremely caring and giving to others. But you've learned, darling dears, karmic lesson that you've overcome. Your luckiest numbers will be the 3, 6 and 9. Your luckiest days will be Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. Okay. Avoid the numbers 4 and 8. This is about your ambition, darling dears, but it also speaks about you're going to be put in a position where you will be motivating others, whether locally, in your community, or on the world stage, darling dears. It also speaks into, again, your spiritual awareness. The energy of the 9 is a highly spiritual number. It's telling me that you are an old soul. And you've been living through what? Constant transformation. All part, I nearly said portal, darling dears. Good golly and gosh, an opening for you. Freudian slip meant to come out. Posh clap. So a portal is opening up for you, darling dears. I love it. I don't hate it. Some kind of a gateway, a bridge, darling dears. And new opportunities coming your way in the next 7 days. Okay, let's press on. Let's press on. It tells me that you've learned to humble yourself in many situations. You're also going to be taking up some kind of a sport. Okay, this is going to be going forward. You've utilized the forgiveness, darling dears, realizing that some people are just feeble-minded and dummy bats, and you have to accept them for what they are and leave them exactly where they are, lest they take you in a handbasket to hell, darling dears. Remember, I told you that. Remember your hairline. Okay. Yeah, this is what it's all telling me at this moment in time. Okay. According to the 48 laws of power, the energy of the 9 is what? Win through your actions and never your words, darling dears. Okay. It also comes into mind law number 19, to know your audience, again, doing something in the public eye or your community, darling dears. Okay. It's telling you that law number 28, this is a time for you to what? Act bold, darling dears. Be brash and bold, moving forward with your ambitions. Remember, I told you that. Why? Because we're at completion, darling dears. And when we get to that level, darling dears, it's about the fates. The fates are involved. Most definitely in what? Transformation mode. Okay. According to the major arcana, darling dears, the energy of the 9 is represented by the Hermit card. Okay, so it speaks about you having spent some time in solitude or introspection. It also speaks again about your spiritual guidance. You're being guided at this moment in time. You've had a time to reflect. It also speaks about moving away from back, front, neck tabbers, darling dears. People that wanted to isolate you, but you chose to isolate yourself first. They can't chuck you out if you already chucked yourself out, darling dears. You understand? Okay. It speaks about a lot of betrayal, darling dears, a lot of hurt, but all of this hurt you internalized. Why? Because you went within, as always advised by the big cat. Yeah. This, what's happened to you, darling dears? Energy of the the major arcana, the number 9, darling dears, in the upright. It speaks about you leaving it, leaving again, so you've definitely left the situation. Freudian slip, it keeps popping out, darling dears. You've left some kind of situation behind, darling dears. Something that was trying to curtail your self-autonomy, your own influences. You've given yourself the space to gain more clarity, hence the lantern on the hermit, well, most hermit cards. Okay, gaining more clarity, but it's about you trusting the answers that are being shown to you, darling dears, because all answers will be corroborated by the feeling you get from within. Okay. So the energy of the 4, it speaks about communication. You're going to have a lot of letters, communications, emails, people visiting you, phone calls, okay, over the next 7 days. It's about people, obviously people want to communicate with you, darling dears. Someone or something's coming into your life over the next 7 days, which is going to have a profound effect on your life. And for others, this could also indicate a love affair kicking off. Okay. The energy of the 5, it speaks about your foundation, your security. Somebody feels offended by what you are creating for yourself. Okay. On the top, we've got 2 5s. Good golly and gosh, darling dears. When we see 2 5s on the tableau, it's saying that, yeah, this change is coming, darling dears. It's going to shake up your routine. Somebody may be making a change in some kind of project they've been working on for some time. Redefining. But the most of all, darling dears, the biggest change that you've learned is about putting yourself first, investing in yourself. Okay. You have the energy of the 6. The 6 is the 6th house. It's something to do with your co-workers. It speaks about 6 represents medical visits, darling dears. Maybe you've been involved in a number of medical visits, but you're about to be more secure. As I said, someone or something's coming into your life which is going to have a profound effect in the next 7 days. Okay. On the side of the dice, we've got the 4 and the 5, the energy of the 1. It's about you having to make a major decision. Don't make this major decision until after the next new moon, which will be a solar eclipse in Libra. Okay, the energy of the 4, darling dears. Lean in, bestie. Going back again to the communication. So we've got 2 4s on the tableau, darling dears. It speaks into your your transformation. The energy of the 44, darling dears, tells me that you are a master healer. Okay, yeah, you've learned to heal yourself, and you're going to utilize that energy to assist others, bringing balance into their life, a new level of grounding. The 44 tells me that your strength has always been tested. They've always tested your gangster. They tested your gangster, and they wasn't sorry. Why? You was the strongest soldier, darling dears. I know you've already put in your applications not to be the strongest soldier going forward. Ha ha! Yeah. But it's about you moving forward and being able to make informed plans, darling dears, informed decisions. But you have to also remember to keep your eye focused on the biggest picture, your big picture. Think big, darling dears. Conceive, believe, and achieve. Because you're in manifestation mode, darling dears. You are bringing these things from Kiefer to this Malkuth, darling dears. You have the magic touch. Okay, let's carry on. Let's get some outside energy before we move on. Thank you. Again, we have the energy of the 6, darling dears. The 6th house, according to tarot, yeah, what the hell am I talking about? According to astrology, darling dears, right? This is the culmination of the previous 5 houses. Okay, it supports how you take care of yourself. It speaks about your mental health, the kinds of jobs you do every day, your routines, your rituals, things that help you thrive. It also speaks about your diet. Somebody's going to be changing up their diet. It also speaks about an exercise routine. Somebody's also looking into their health over the next 7 days, darling dears. Something to do with some physical sickness. It could have been a long-term sickness for some. It speaks of being an employee, darling. There's maybe somebody's going into volunteering, but it's definitely somebody that was in some kind of civil service work. Okay, and it's something to do with a pet and the 9. I have to say that if this is an older pet, darling dears, this pet is coming to the ending of its line. Okay, I'm sorry to say, because some people treat their pets like other human beings. It is what it is. You love who you love. But this, with the energy of the 9, okay, so be prepared for that incoming. But it's definitely moving away from a situation, getting over some kind of illness, looking at a new way to heal thyself, going within, being guided, darling dears, being guided. You also have what? Yeah. Many a bitch and Mitch slept on you, bestie. Hey! Energy of the 6, darling dears, could also represent someone trying to contact you so you can go with people to their doctor's appointments, their health visits, darling dears. Yeah. What's this? And they're devastated. That's their business, blood. That's their business. Where was you before you was devastated? All right? Being isolated and betrayed at every turn. And what's on the base? Family. Listen. They say that blood is thicker than water, but at least I can take a drink from the water, darling dears, and still have life. So some family member, this could be siblings, uncles, aunts, it could be family by marriage, whatever, cousin, whatever, darling dears, they're devastated. They slept on you, and you are at the culmination where you're about to what? Manifest again. Remember, I told you that. The energy of Mars, darling dears, lean in, bestie. Lean in. It speaks about somebody's definitely in their ego, darling dears. There's a lot of aggression being sent your way. Somebody's also sending some sexual urges your way, babe. Maybe because they had it and they can't get it again. Not in this life. Okay. All right. Let's press on. Let's press on. Okay. The energy of Mars, again, I'm hearing war. Somebody was competing with you, darling dears. It speaks about the insurmountable courage that you had to use, the stamina to get this independent feeling within these relationships. Yeah, they're sending the conflict at you, darling dears, and they're vigorous about it. Okay. Mars also represents violence, a lot of anger coming your way, a lot of deceptive forces. Maybe this is what you've overcome, darling dears. There was definitely abuse in a situation. Okay, Mars represents the head, the genitals, the blood, the buttocks, bodily fluids, yeah, of the genitalia kind, yeah, bile. It also represents, oh, come on, case, your nose, the excretory tract. Yeah, all of that area. Maybe you had some issues around that area, darling dears, because all issues start within the stomach. Okay. Let's get your overall ancestral message, and then we'll press on at a hot trot. I'm going to go over the life lessons. Oh, this card was in amongst it, darling dears. And this one is what? Your time to shine. Energy of a 3 and a 2. Sometimes they get mixed up, and I do check, but sometimes something slips through. The 3 and a 2 goes down to a 5. This speaks about you being in a situation where there was a lot of conflict, a lot of confusion, darling dears. But it brought about this big C word. What's that? Change, darling dears. Your time to shine. Shine bright like a diamond. We've got the energy of the heart chakra, darling dears. That's the 3, 6 and 9. Play that at night time while you're sleeping to balance out yourself. It speaks about, there's something about you, darling dears. You've got a newness about you, a newness of a freshness. It also speaks about growth, darling dears. Your growth. Why? Because you adopted forgiveness. Okay. The heart chakra is ruled by Venus. Venus rules Libra as well as Taurus, so it's about your money's balancing out. The legal side is your one-to-one relationships. You have some new one-to-one relationships coming towards you, but there's a lot of people some of them have gone to open enemy, darling dears. They hate your eyelashes. Why? Because they're attached to you, darling dears. When it was imbalanced, when you was in that depressive state, darling dears, all of your relationships around you were difficult. People lacking in discipline, no morals, low vibing, darling dears. Tree sloth. Okay, so that was there, so that came out anyway, but I'm still going to look at the one that's on the base, if it will go in. So this is a new beginning for you, darling dears. Again, we're seeing Aries, Mars energy, darling dears, the ram, and it's in the white, darling dears. The energy of the white speaks about this new beginning. It speaks about the wholeness and you being in contact with your higher self, your subconscious mind, darling dears. So definitely in manifestation mode. I was about to look at the base, and then I started to shuffle again. Everything happens for a reason. I saw artist, and also seeing practice makes perfect, darling dears. Continue whatever you've been doing. Continue to polish up your skills. Why? You are leading with uniqueness and transformation over the next 7 days. To the decks. Let's get a deck quickly. Move along quickly. Come on, Case. Look at the time going. But there was so much intel. I had so much to tell you, bestie. Yeah, single and independent. You may be single or feeling single within a relationship. Okay? Single and independent also speaks about self-autonomy, able to manage your bills, and it also speaks about growth, because the 9 of Peace soon goes up to the Empress, darling dears, and then up to the Queen of Pentacles, then to the Empress. So it speaks about you being grounded, darling dears. The 9 of Pentacles is Venus and Virgo energy, darling dears. So it's about you avoiding any form of drama, because you're about to receive some kind of reward or an award, darling dears. Awarded something in the material sphere, which is going to what? Further your independence. You're going to achieve this sense of financial independence, and it's all coming from what? Your self-sufficiency, relying on thyself. I love it. I don't hate it. Let's keep you. So whether you're in a relationship or solo dolo, right? You're single and independent, thinking your own thoughts, leading with your own mind. Okay, so how are your relationships over the next 7 days? How are your relationships over the next 7 days? Thank you. We've got a hangman. Highly spiritual as well, darling dears. Hangman speaks about seeing a different perspective on a situation. You've decided to give back the wood, darling dears. You're giving back the wood. There's no more self-sacrificing going on around here. No. You're putting certain situations on pause. For air, darling dears. For air. You've become a seeker, darling dears. The hangman is water, Neptune energy, darling dears. The 12th house of hidden enemies. The 12th house is also the house of family secrets, darling dears. Secrets kept within a family. It also speaks about letting go of some kind of pattern, some pattern that you had in the past, something to do with escapism. You're putting that down because it's a karmic debt that's going to be fulfilled and paid. A lot of frustrated energy is being directed at you at this moment in time. Yeah. Someone is also facing some kind of prison or some form of jail time. This is within a I said family kept coming out. I was saying relationships, but somebody's facing jail time, darling dears. Yeah, maybe as much, anything up to 9 years. Yeah, they're going to prison, just like R. Kelly. But you're seeing a different perspective of the situation. This is enlightenment, darling dears. The water energy, the Neptune energy. Somebody's also overcoming some form of addiction. Yeah, because what you're seeking is seeking you. As I said, for some, a love affair is coming into your life. This is a situation that you don't see, darling dears. This person is going to be totally different to the people that you've met before in the past. King of Swords. This person is going to meet you intellectually at your level. Yeah, like-minded person, darling dears. Yeah. And they are what? A manifestor. It also speaks about short journeys. Any short journeys that you're taking over the next 7 days are going to go extremely well. Why? Money is attached to it, darling dears. In one way, shape or form. Okay. It's something to do with siblings, darling dears. Could be younger siblings, nephews, nieces, aunts, uncles. As I said, you're being noticed for something. King of Swords. Something you're doing could be spiritual. Is really out there. It's out there. Everyone sees it, darling dears. Yeah, Hierophant energy. This is your calling. You're on a calling. Okay. What about your relationships? We've got the Ace of Wands, and again, this speaks about a new relationship. This person coming towards you could also represent a business partner, a friendship, whatever, a signing of a contract, whether it's a spiritual contract or a physical contract, is going to go extremely well. Everything is going in your favor. It also speaks about your work, darling dears. Okay. You're changing your job. Someone's changing their job. Yeah, going forward. Yes. And you've been what? Called to do this, darling dears. You're being guided. Someone else is also going to be buying a new vehicle, renting a new vehicle, something to do with a mobile home. Yeah. The Eternal Warrior, darling dears. It definitely speaks of this new direction that you have. Okay. You're extremely hardworking. And you're going to be making decisive actions and choices over the next 7 days. Look, I just said, in your friendship and relationships, this is a fated meeting. Remember, I told you that. Did I not just say you're going to be meeting someone of like-minded intelligence, darling dears? Someone who is highly spiritual, someone who knows how to manifest. The King of Swords is a protector. He may be in this. He may be part of this spiritual community. He could be in the army, the legal field. Okay, but this is definitely going to be a meeting of minds, darling dears. Yeah, Chariot energies that you're going to give it a try, darling dears. But don't give no one a try without seeing their birth natal chart. Find out what their Chinese animal sign is. See if it's compatible to yours. Get yourself a synastry chart, darling dears. Get a hore. Yeah, get all of it. Get it. There's too much intel to go into any situation blind. Listen. Yeah. But you've been able to balance out your situation, darling dears. As far as friendships are concerned, the Queen of Swords speaks about cutting off a lot of people out of your life. But it's you not looking back, darling dears. You're moving forward. Okay. Two of Pentacles also speaks about a lot of obstacles, as I said, challenges, people that challenged you, but it's all behind you now, darling dears. Look, I can't make it up. We got the Hermit energy. Yeah. You shone that spiritual light on everything, darling dears, and it also speaks about somebody's reassessing their finances over the next 7 days. Okay. Yeah, it made it seem like people that you once saw as family thought you'd be afraid to walk alone. Look, the unhappy crew has arrived. Yeah, look. You followed your passion, you followed your dreams. It speaks about the drive and the motivation. It speaks about always being motivated to carry on, to push forward. Then you get rewarded with the Chariot, darling dears, the unhappy crew. Yeah, if it was a partner, they chose the wrong partner over you, darling dears. They made a wrong choice. It also speaks about the things that people in the past invested into. They're devastated now. They made the wrong choice. Look how disloyal they was. Oh my God. Hey, two queens together, the gossiping and the slander. And they've got the bloody cheek to want to come back, darling dears. Somebody wants to come back through because it looks like your quid's in. Did I not just talk about the 10th house? You're making a stable and secure foundation for yourself, darling dears. And whatever you're doing, you're going to be doing it in front of everyone. Listen, this is going to be loud, not quite loud. Energy of the 10th house is also what? It shows me that you are the breadwinner of your home, darling dears. Okay, the 10th house also represents royalties, definitely achievements, accolades. It represents retirement, darling dears. But money's coming towards you. All these disloyal people want to be your friend now. Good God. Let me get one more day. All of them. Not all of them. Everybody. They wants to be your best friend, you know. They want to be your friend. Okay. Let's get a quick. Oh my God. Look what happened to these. Look what's at the base. It's a lie. Don't believe the hype. Don't. You'll be sorry and you'll be back. All the cards fell apart. There's the one that fell on the floor. Oh my God. Oh, if I can reach it. Can I reach it? Got it. Almost got it. Look. Queen of Cups in reverse. Disloyal people. Emotionally manipulative. If you go back into that situation, you'll be on a knife's edge before you can say, what's going on? How did I get here? Yeah. All of this and that, darling dears. This and that. It speaks about moving away from bad relationships, darling dears. These relationships are what created the health problems that you was dealing with, right? They're in a place where there's no rest for the wicked, darling dears. That's their business. Somebody wants to run away from their past and come towards you. If it was somebody that you was involved with, darling dears, this person was disloyal from the start. They saw you as a marriage of convenience, their convenience, not yours, darling dear. So they used you for everything, or everything they got their filthy hands on, darling dears. But whatever that situation is, it's definitely over. You've put it to rest. You've forgiven the situation, and now you've gone forth, and you're about to multiply. Definitely travel, darling dears. Happier times ahead. Your table is set. The table is set. Outrageous. All these disloyal people wanted to come back because of this. Even if you're not there right now, darling dears, it's coming towards you. Remember, I told you that this new structure, this new stability, you have an archway. This is a gateway, a portal. Something is manifesting and opening up for you, and it's going to go fabulous, gorgeous, and lovely. And in your new life, darling dears, as the hermit who understands everything, right? Remember people's behavior when you was down. Who was kicking you when you was down? Who was slandering you when you was down? And leave them where they are. Because karma doesn't forget an address. And remember, when karma turns up, karma doesn't walk with any lube. L-U-B-E. On that note, I drops me mic. Toddle over to my Teesprings, my Patreon, or my TikToks, where I also upload videos. And as I always say, don't get smoked. And don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. Namaste. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, big cat wave. Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat, 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 cat.